Hey guys! So yes, another storytime video today, but I promise that Danganronpa will be coming soon. I'm going to film some this weekend. I'm going to tell you guys the story of a time that I had a trial shift for a new job, and things kind of went sour. So at this point, I'd been working in retail for 5 years, which is insane to think about now that I worked in retail for 5 years. But I decided that it was time to change things up. So I went looking for a new job. Handed out resumes, I emailed a couple different places because I saw their ads in the paper, and I got a reply back from one of the emails I sent, and they said, hey, we can put you in for a trial shift, 6 hours, it'll be paid, and then we'll talk about how we feel you did at the job at the end of the day. And I was like, okay, cool. I went and I did the trial shift. Everything was great. Very positive working environment. And at the end of the shift, the manager was nowhere to be found. Not only that, and I forgot to mention this earlier, but they said that they would have a paycheck for me for the 6 hours that I worked. And that was nowhere to be found either. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go home. They'll get back to me, I assume, because I couldn't find the manager anywhere. So I go back home and I continue on with my life. About a week passes by and I still haven't heard anything. And I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm just gonna reach out to them because I haven't heard anything and I wanna know what's going on. So I just type out an email and I'm like, hey, couldn't find you at the end of the day. Wanted to talk about, you know, your thoughts on how you think I did the job. If you could get back to me, that'd be great. And so I just send the email off, and then another 2 days passes by. I was just coming home, just walking in the door, and my phone rings, and it's the manager. And I'm like, oh hey, you know, I hadn't heard from you in a little while, so I just fired off an email. Just wanted to discuss your thoughts on how I did. And they're like, oh yeah, you know, we think you were really good, we think you performed well, you know, when can you start? And I'm like, oh, well, you know, is it a full-time position? Because I'm looking for full-time hours. And they're like, oh, well, you know, right now, we're just looking for someone to work 4 months. What? So I asked, okay, after this 4-month period, would I be a full-time employee? Like, how does this work? And they're like, oh, well, you know, we're gonna start off with the 4 months and there's really no guarantee that we'll need you afterwards, but we really need someone for 4 months. And I'm like, no, I'm not quitting my retail job of 5 years to go to a job where they only need me for 4 months with no guarantee of permanent employment after that. Like, I couldn't do it. So I said, my apologies, but I can't take your offer. Thank you for allowing me into your space, but I can't do this because it's not gonna work. I was never told that when I went into this. I was never told that it was just a 4-month-long position with no guarantee of permanent employment. And that kind of made me mad because it's like, you never told me that, yet you had me work a 6-hour trial shift thinking that I was gonna be a full-time employee of yours, like that. Anyways, but as soon as I said no, the manager's personality did a complete 180. Like, I was in shock. They were like, oh, well, you know what? I'm disappointed in you. I thought that you would take the position. Like, you know, you really didn't do as good of a job as I said you did. And I'm like, you're just, you know, taking everything back now that I've said no. Like, that's not really cool at all. Like, okay, if that's how you're gonna be. I also mentioned that I still hadn't been paid, and the manager's like, okay, well, we'll get that to you somehow. Another week passes by. So 2 weeks since I worked this trial shift and I hadn't been paid. So I fire off another email. I give them my mailing address and I go, this is my mailing address. I'd like my check, please. Thank you again for your time. I'm trying to be as polite as I can because at this point it's just like, I don't really know what to do, but I'm trying to still be polite. And so I just sent off that email and I ended up getting the check. But yeah, there you go, you guys. That was the time that I experienced a bad trial shift at a job. And you know what? At the end of the day, things happen for a reason. I'm at a really good place right now. I enjoy my job. I'm having a really great time. And things obviously just weren't meant to be at this other place, so it worked out in the end. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Give this video a massive thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you guys enjoy my videos. Click the little bell icon down below there so you're not missing notifications for uploads from me. Keep being awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.